But the purpose of this pillar really is to bring national and international expertise in two aspects: digital innovation procurement and digital supply chain practices. Yes, producing guidelines, exemplars, case studies, lessons learned analysis through our living labs, but all the time supporting the bigger picture, i.e. the project that is Build Digital, the project that has 5 pillars. And we'll be working very closely with Barry on the standards pillar and with Roisin on the leadership and cultural change pillar. But if you see the diagram there on the right, industry is very much in our crosshairs, because this is very much about working with industry, listening to industry. And on behalf of the core chairs on this pillar, we are absolutely delighted that we have this list of companies that will be helping us in this pillar. These people have the skills, they have the knowledge, and they have the experience to bring this pillar forward and to make a real difference when it comes to innovative procurement. Just to look at the broad pillars, we'll be looking at the National BIM, or Information Management Framework, that Barry referred to, working very much with Barry's team in the standards pillar. Monitoring the digital maturity of our SMEs, both in digital innovation procurement and digital supply chains. Reviewing international practice, reviewing national and international case studies, working with the living labs, and obviously publishing our findings. But I just wanted to step back a little bit and talk about what's happening in our industry. I'm just supposed to reinforce the importance of procurement. If we look at pre-pandemic, the World Economic Forum identified these key challenges as the challenges that are facing our sector. Despite COVID, despite Brexit, despite the war in the East, all of these challenges still exist. Recently, Mark Farmer, you may have heard of Mark Farmer in the UK. Mark was appointed by the British government, I suppose, to champion the whole housing initiative in the UK. But he spoke about 3 key challenges: decarbonisation, resource scarcity, and procurement reform. And when it comes to procurement reform, it was said to me, I think it was Arvid said it to me at one stage, this is a really, really challenging pillar. And if we try to digest all of the challenges associated with procurement, we're just going to get indigestion, or we're not going to be able to deal with it. If we try and deal with all the problems in procurement linearly, we're going to lose momentum. So what we're going to do is break this elephant down. And so we're looking really at resource scarcity. We're all aware of the pressures on companies from the point of view of increased costs. Huge amount of debate around off-site construction. Procurement reform, we have to, in this country, bring in mandatory BIM right across the life cycle. We have to work with standards like Barry referred to, the International Construction Measurement Standard. But digital is really only one of the transitions taking place in construction. We've got lean transition, we've got green transition, and we've got the digital transition. But Pat, you said it at the very start, collaboration. The key to all of this is working together. So when we sit in the room later on and we listen to industry over the next number of years, this may change. These challenges may change. But at the moment in 22, these are the 3 big challenges that we see digital enabling improvement in this space. So what we're going to do in procurement, in digital procurement, is move away from the old way of thinking. Focus on initial costs, focus on time, focus on quality. It's now about 3 things: value, carbon, safety. And to get those 3 priorities moving forward, it's all about collaborative procurement. When it comes to value, contractors are entitled to a reasonable profit. They're entitled to access to cash flow. They're entitled to a risk share model. Clients are entitled to certainty of cost. They're entitled to quality. And the end user is also entitled to quality. So taking that into place, whether you like it or not, I'm going to talk about BIM. This is about good information management. This is about using BIM to drive this what they call this new golden triangle. And I thought I might just take some time talking about our neighbours. We have to look at the UK as a default position. So in the UK, all of the procuring authorities have sat down and they've agreed on 14 key policies right across all the public sector procurers. They've then agreed 24 gold standard recommendations, which has led to the IIMC, which is the Information Management Contract, which is now going to be, which is a multi-party agreement that sits alongside the contracts, existing contracts, so that everyone buys into using the standards that Barry refers to. Another example of a project we'll be looking at, a jurisdiction would be New Zealand, the Construction Accord, Sector Accord. Look at their values, trust, be bold. Pat, you talk about being bold. Value your people, act collaboratively. This is the way forward. And this is the way, one of the areas that we'll be focusing on very much in this project. So the recurring theme that's coming from procurement that we can see is a move towards collaborative procurement. This will allow greater collaboration and greater innovation. So I'm really looking forward to working with everyone on this project. We don't have public procurement input yet, but we will get it. I think it's going to be very important. And so the work starts today.